G'day everyone and welcome to our next match of MRBC. We have Division B, Week 4 I believe, in the AP region. Tonight we have the Innersphere Rust Buckets and Ghost Bear Kodiak Pride. I'm JZ and tonight with me we have Live 1991.
Hey, how are you all?
Righto, so drop 1, Grim Plexus, 4 lights, 4 mediums. Teams are pretty much ready to go. Might get straight into it, hey?
Yep, let's drop down.
Alright, so nice and quick casts throughout the 2-code event. There's a bunch of faction warfare happening right as we speak, and so we took a bit of a break out of it to bring some MRBC action. Righto.
I'm favouring ISRC to win this game, 4-1. They've just been around for a while. They've got a lot of different players from different units. It'll just be interesting to see what they run, and I don't think Casual's playing tonight, so you won't see many weird builds.
And no LRM Hunchback 4Js and anything like that?
Yeah, no LRMs, no Dire Stars. What else have they brought into comp games before?
Has Casual brought the Dire Stars or someone else?
Within his team, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Blame Casual.
Alright, so Division B does have 6 teams, so they will be going through the extended map set. Which Division A will not be going through this season. So we're going to see a drop 1 on Grim Plexus, a relatively interesting map for this. There's some grounds for mixed range. What do you think we're going to see? All brawl or a bit of mixed?
Pretty much all brawl, and somehow I'm already stuck and I can't move. This is great.
Well, I'm going to look through the ISRC mechs. So we have Splat Jenna from Bream the Noob. We have SPL Nova, Spider, SPL Nova again, and Locust, Cheetah, Stormcrow, all small pulses so far, and some SRMs, SRM, LBX, Shadow 2D2. Alright, so IC's all brawl. GBKP, they have a Spider, Jenna, Splat, Laser Nova, Red Laser Nova that is, Splat Griffin, Hybrid, so brawl, so missile, laser, missiles, very similar to 2D2 as well. So both teams going complete brawl.
Yep, I've got the, I can move around now, so that's all good. Do you reckon they're just going to push straight in, or do you reckon one team's going to wait?
Well,
the Locust is by himself from ISRC, just getting in the timer.
ISRC does have a good 10 seconds up already on the timer. GBKB probably doesn't really care, it's going to go straight in there.
Yep, here they start to push now.
The Spiders both on each side having a bit of range so they can poke at each other a bit. And GBK probably going to go straight up to the plateau. We'll see. Oh no, they're going to run past the face onto the Locust.
Looks like they're falling for the Locust bait.
And they're going low ground.
A lot of UAVs up above.
Early damage in favour of GBKP with Bream and Hans Davion both hurt in the Spider and Jenna. Oh man, good strikes on both sides. They're striking each other's strikes. UAVs up as well. All consumables getting unleashed.
ISRC is about to come around from the left-hand side in force, and I think Sean's going to drop really quickly.
Yeah, Sean Crane's got in that. Stormcrow.
ISRC's pulling back. They've wasted that opportunity.
Yeah, I can see GBKB capitalising here. If they get up top on that, look at that wrap coming in from Sean, Eternal Havoc, and Coleman. They might be drop the Stormcrow, Mag Mountblade. If not careful.
Back at the back, they're just not getting in the fight. They're starting to get in the fight now.
Sean Crow's got very hurt, 47%, but Bream, 67%. This goes down in the Nova. This originally from Terra Scorpions, has now joined ISRC for the season. So, a few big hits coming in. Looks like Ghost Bears are actually ahead on damage overall. The time to kill here is incredibly high.
Sean, one of the GB lights just got caught out, but somehow managed to pull it off.
Yep, so it's 1 each, although 2 down for ISRC. And Coleman goes down to a nice shot from Mountblade. A few more down, 3-2 now. Now ISRC is ahead. The damages though, I can see ISRC having 2 mechs drop pretty quick.
All that focus fire now, can they rotate their mechs out and get the focus fire happening?
Alright, so it's a really question of who has weapons. 50-50, the Nova is shut down, appears to be overheated. Strummer gets taken out, Firehawk taken out as well. wrapping on Eternal Havoc at the moment. In the Gen, he's down at 29% in a light. He probably will go down. Or Hans Davion is basically hanging on by a thread. Can a remover of obstacles in the Cheetah bring it back for GBKP?
Yeah, I think he's gone to ISRC unless they can get some quick kills.
Well, Manipulated CT is so crit. The Locust is pretty hurt, almost legged. Hans Davion is almost dead. Remove obstacles goes down. ISRC will take this. Can they get a 5th kill? That is the real question. A 5th kill would get them the bonus. The Spiders is hurt on the sides and shutting down. That is it. Wow, that was really interesting. I think both teams will be trying to work in the focus fire. The time to kill there was incredibly high for a drop 1. Given the brawl, like that's a very, very long brawl engagement.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They both kind of danced around a lot, and kind of got them both caught out, and they both didn't, push the team when the other team was caught out. Fuck.
Well, look at the scores. Meg Mornblade in the Stormcrow topping with 4 kills, 476. Excellent work there. Iron Kansas played with 300 and 3 kills, 4 assists from Hans Davion. Big numbers there by Merc and Hans. For GBKP side, 50-50 in the Nova at 340 damage, and remove obstacles down next at 299 in the Charlie Cheetah. Big thing there, really the focus fire. I think honestly, there was a lot of hurt mechs shooting other hurt mechs, or even fresh mechs. Like there wasn't that finish off that you often see in brawls. Like we looked at the percentages on the sides of the screen here during the match, and we just saw like 3 or 4 hurt mechs just running around, a lot of shots going everywhere. So yeah.
I think GB lost that just from their focus fire. ISRC were pretty hurt at the start, and they just kind of backed away and split up a bit more, and they just got caned by ISRC finally pushing in and focus firing a little bit better than JB did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of ISRC mechs at the end that cycled out, like Hans Davion and the Spider, was completely cherry red, basically dead. A heap of other mechs there that cycled out, they were extremely hurt. So, good job to them for that. Okay, let's go back to the scene here. Hey, let's quickly look at the map strat. I mean, the map strat, there's not too much we can really go into, given that is drop 1. But something we'll note on this map strat is initially GBKP took the low ground coming in, okay, kind of hanging around this low area, and ISRC looked to have a bit of a slight counter concave on top, but really, what it was is it seemed like in the end there was lines getting shot between these buildings, like this. We had some ISRC mechs wrap down this way, and some GBKP mechs wrap up this way. Those green lines there, they're shooting across. Instead of focusing down, they're kind of running parallel a bit.
Yeah, it's one of the things, like, a bit hard when you're casting, you can see everything, but when ISA pushed left, they still had a few mechs out of the action up top. If GB would have pushed them at that time, they probably would have won at least that fight and then gone on to maybe win the game. But again, it's really hard to tell because we've got a bird's eye view and they don't. So.
Well, there's plenty of UAVs up as well, and most mechs will be running seismic, so at least the mech positions, at least, would be pretty clear there. But one thing with drop 1 is usually it's a big furball, and it did get quite chaotic, which is always good to see, I guess. Makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're looking at drop number 2 next. Let's just put in the kills. Winner, there we go. Alright, so on the rep points, we have ISRC. They got the bonus too. They did kill that many mechs. Yep. So 350 for ISRC, 100. So 4 mechs killed for Ghost Pair. No bonus to them, unfortunately.
Okay, so the next map is Frozen City.
Yep, that's correct. So Frozen City, pretty interesting one. I'm just going to get the map shot up. Oh, you already got it. Excellent. So what do you expect to see here? Drop 2 is 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies.
Yeah, they're one or the two things. I'm guessing these two teams are either going to push pretty hard at each other, or they're going to do the cap strat. If they're doing range, which is highly unlikely, these two teams, Team 1 does, I reckon, have a better advantage, and Team 2 will have more of a chance to push into Team 1. I'm guessing Team 2, if they're going to push, they're going to push to the right-hand side and just try to find Team 1 and catch them. But if they do the cap strat, I reckon Team 1 might have the more advantage. But then again, it's a light deck, so anyone can catch anyone.
Yeah, being a drop 2, the tonnage is really holding the range trade like you would in a drop 4 or 5 is pretty difficult, given the speed and mobility that the teams have, and also the lack of those big guns. So I think what we're going to probably see is the telltale call will be, I think we might see Team 2 take their side, Team 1 take their side. If they did bring range, they'd probably just let their range work for a bit. Maybe set up a mech or two in a key location. If they did bring any range, and just let it trade and get some damage advantage, and then try to push in. That's usually what happens anyway. I mean, look, if one team did go full brawl in yellow, then it's probably going to be a fast match. But
yeah, if the team did go brawl, especially with the light tonnage. This map is very easy to run away from a brawl team if you spot them early, which you should be able to on this map. So it'd be very interesting to see what they do. But I reckon they're both going to be short to mid range and probably cap the first 2 points each and then go and kill each other.
And that's it. I mean, particularly if they're full brawl, like it's just do you reckon there'll be any hybrid? I reckon they might sneak in 1 or 2 long range mechs in there for Overwatch, or what do you expect to see?
Don't really know these teams that well to make that choice. I know what we would do, and it would be range. But yeah, if
funny that.
I don't think the Overwatch will work that well. Maybe a mid-range mech.
Yeah, like some large pulse sort of range.
Yeah, because if they're going to go, if Team 2 are going to go right and into the buildings, the range can kind of get cut off. The Overwatch can get cut off pretty easily. So maybe some fast mid-range build.
Yeah, righto. Well, teams are almost ready. So this is going to be hopefully a nice quick cast. Like it,
Yep.
nice and fast. Get back to the faction.
The LRM there. LRMs everywhere.
Well, the matches I've played haven't been too bad, honestly. So I've just been here at the LFG, just making sure I always drop off for 12, and it's usually worked out. But yeah, I mean,
Like both teams are locked, so we're gonna search.
yeah, well, this is Ghost Bear versus basically CSJ. That's what ISRC is at the moment, so that's quite interesting. All right, let's go into the match. Team 1 going for quite a split spawn across the 3 Lancers. It's rather interesting. Usually Team 1 is always Alpha Bravo. Charlie on Team 1 side doesn't really give any sort of advantage.
Yeah.
So let's see what ISRC are going to use for that.
Do you reckon Night Gears or Grasshoppers?
Or
Timberwolves, maybe.
Here we go. So, looking at the map, we can see Theta in the middle here is quite open. This is a very key point. If there's not a brawl rush immediately, then usually whoever controls Theta gets to somewhat dictate how the push develops. So I'm just going to fly up here, see the dropships ready to come in. A nice wide pan. Right. Oh, there's Nachi, look at that. Kami. Kami's in Nachi on a cold map, so there you go. He's in Dual Gauss, Dual PPC. Ah, that build. Actually haven't played against that build, I wasn't in that group.
Anyway. So far are pretty brawly.
Yep.
With
Hybrid.
PPC.
Ooh, ISS's got some range. They've got some serious range there. They've got a few brawl mechs, but I mean they've got a lot of serious range. Yeah, like I said, Ghost Bear's got that mid-range Stormcrow. The rest are pretty brawl. Oh, there's one of your, that's one of your large Grasshopper in there. There it is. And a Gas PPC Nightjar. So both teams actually have a bit of range on them. GBKP being slightly more brawly, of course. And they're getting data straight up with Schwinboy's Locust.
ISRC are pushing over to the mountain with 3 mechs
Yep.
to get the cap.
This is a very interesting play. So GBKP ignoring the home Kappa, instead going for aggressive Theta, and ISRC going all the way to Kappa aggressively. So it's still going to be a 3-2 Kappa in favour of ISRC, but they're very spread out. The GBKP kind of a few options here. Do they push Kappa with those 3 mechs, or I guess what do they do? That's the real question. Because ISRC is very split right now.
Yeah, if they definitely know there's 3 mechs there, they definitely need to respond to it and hopefully get arc kill. Maybe not. Maybe leave the grasshopper shooting back and. Looks like KBR going for the 3 mechs now.
And that they are. So 50-50 the Novas pushing them away. ISRC bugging out their lights, don't want to really risk anything. Schwimboy will cap that in his locust, making it a 3-2 in favour of GBKP, which does favour the range engagement. So both teams going range, caps become very important to control. And if GBKP can keep control of Theta, then I guess ISRC will be the pusher.
Yeah, but ISRC can get Theta pretty easy within cover.
So Vex and the Grasshopper at 84%, Lermguard 77%. On ISRC side, 77 and 78 for the 2 Night Gears, Kamikaze Viking and Hans Davion respectively. The trade's reasonably even. I would give the slight advantage maybe to GBKP outside of the Grasshopper. If you don't count the Grasshopper, GBKP's way ahead on the trades. Kami's looking at a big hit there.
Yeah, bad overheat from Kami.
Yeah. Pretty aggressive build there, running dual gas and dual PPCs. Just got to manage that heat because there's no extra heat sinks in it. So yeah, it's already down 64%, crit as well. Yeah, quite a risky build to run. Stick with that ER large, burning him down a bit.
It seems to me that ISRC has more of the range mechs, but they're losing all the trades.
And that's interesting. Like Vex has, with that ER large mech, does have something different. I don't think ISRC has that many ER large mechs. A lot of them are projectile based. So that's one thing they can leverage. GBKP can get scratch damage in a lot easier. Right, Kami's quite hurt, 54%. Vex is 64%. Hans and Nisk somewhat hurt, and this somewhat hurt on the ISRC side. GBKP has Lermguard down at 68%, but and Vex does go down. That's probably an XL kill on that Grasshopper.
ISRC have sent their lights into the back of Ghost Bears.
Yep, and they've actually sent Hans David in the Night Gear to Theta, although that's not. Oh wow! Yep, very aggressive move here. Leonidas is legged and goes down in the Spider. Bream's running in here along with Firehawk in the Shadowcat and Shadowcat, interesting choice, with 3 streak 6s and 2 small poles. It sounds
at the same time, Ghost Bears have sent their lights into their range mech, so
seems like it's going to be a heavy trade. So Havoc is probably going to take out Kami quite easily, then Nisk. So Kami and Nisk are in grave danger right now. Let's go back onto the heavies over here. 1 down for each side. Leonidas, of course, dying in the Spider, and the Grasshopper being dead. Again, a relatively high time to kill. Something that's been a bit consistent theme. Remove Robskulls. Stormcrow is legged. And looks like GBKP might fend off their light aggression with Bream and Firehawk disengaging. Let's check out how Kami is. Oh wow! Until Havoc goes down, Kami still lives, so does Nisk. Although Kami overheats yet again, he's got 1 PVC and 1 gas left. And ISRC has lost 3 mechs. They've lost both their lights and the Firehawk and Bream going down, the Shadowhawk and Jenna.
ISRC have still got the range advantage. The Grasshopper probably a big loss.
Yeah, definitely a big loss there. Lermguard also his very hurt as well, so he won't be able to trade too much anymore. He does 2 PPCs though, so he has that up his sleeve.
Yeah, there's no lights left, and from both teams, and it looks like they're pushing in a Cedar, not as a group, so it might be painful.
Well, on the damages though, GBKP have 3 fresh mechs, the Griffin, Stormcrow, and Nova, whereas ISRC kind of have a Hunchy and a Blackjack, which are semi-fresh.
ISRC can just kite them and destroy them one by one.
If they need to, yes. If GBKP really needs to engage together. Lerngod takes a kamikaze finally. Nisk is about to drop any second now. And so is Lerngod. So they're a lot of very hurt mechs here. Hans Davy on CT aren't internals.
ISRC are allowing their brawl mechs to Ghostbear's brawl mechs to get right up close to them. So
Yeah, and that costs Nisk.
They're running towards the mechs instead of running away. So
yeah, Mechblade they have two ER large blackjack. I bet just about to get closed on by the Griffin. This could hurt for him. And there he goes. Now this in the Hunchback is the last mech for ISRC on the field. With that hybrid build, 6 Mauls, 2 PPCs. Overheats though. Well, at this point, it's 3 caps and a point advantage to GBKP, so they're going to take this drop.
Yep.
But ISRC did get the 5th kill, so that's they did bring it back with a bonus at least.
Yeah, I think ISRC really had the early advantage in that game. They got the Grasshopper out of the way, but then they just they kind of ran into a brawl team and just got outplayed.
Right, looking at the damages here, Lerm got a topping score for GBKP within the Night Geo, staying alive quite a long time. 50-50 in the Nova, doing very well. 3 kills, 410. Despite living only a short time, really, Vex and the Grasshopper put out a heap of damage. 410 for the time he was alive. On the other side, Nisk and the Nova doing excellent. 596, it's huge. 404 mass score not found. Did a very good job there, getting damage out. The lights for both sides did okay, although I think not sure the trade was worth it. I mean, most of them kept under 100 or at least under 200. All right. So looking at the rep points now, we see that it's going to be quite close actually. 525 for ISRC because they did get the bonus. And GBKP at 450, so 1 drop each, and a slight rep advantage to ISRC.
Hopefully I'm a lot louder now. I'll try to speak louder too. On the map strat, it was a very interesting game. They pretty much kind of mirrored each other with their light push. And the brawl team kind of pushed into their range pretty easily, and the range team kind of walked towards them. So that was probably a disadvantage to ISRC.
I think the cap play was very interesting by ISRC then, by going for the capper instead. So their initial movement there, and that's probably why they had the mechs in Charlie, because like we said, Charlie's a bit of a strange one, but they had mechs in Charlie there. Get up there and get Kappa straight away. Whereas GBKP thought, we'll get Theta. Theta's the hardest to get later on, so we'll get it before they set up anything. And it kind of created like a bit of a split team for ISRC. So yes, they have more range mechs, but it's like the positions and I think just how they played and how they use cover. GBKP did a lot better using cover. ISRC trying to stay in the open a bit too much, getting a bit too aggressive on the trades there.
Yeah, especially at range, the Night Geo, either good mech, Grasshoppers will out-trade it, or should out-trade it definitely at that range. Ghostbears losing that Grasshopper so early, I thought it was going to be game over. ISRC could just kite them and win on caps, make them push. But they went the opposite way.
Yeah, another really interesting thing is the light trade. I mean, we saw later on the ISRC lights wrap all the way around and come up the back here behind the dropship where GBKP heavies were, like 2 of them at least were. At the same time, the ISRC had 2 heavies here, and then GBKP sent 2 of their lights around the outside there. So there's this trade, heavy trade happened, and like the time to kill was quite high. I think it was also doing a good job staying alive. Despite that, so and we saw both sets of lights, or at least light plus fast medium combo for the Shadowcat, die very, very quickly for both teams. So it was really interesting seeing the slower mediums and heavies slog it out right at the end with no lights at all.
Yeah, it would have been an interesting comms too. There was pretty much 3 fights going on that map in 3 different areas of the map. Yeah, it would have been interesting how they were calling that and who they were going to back up, and if they'll just, oh well, just try to survive as long as you can while we win this battle.
Yeah, definitely. Righto, so the next map is going to be Canyon Network, it looks like. Yep. So this is the 3 mediums, 4 heavies, 1 85-ton assault. Protect the commander one. So the 85-ton assault, if a team can kill the opponents and keep theirs alive, they get the bonus. So there is quite a bit of emphasis on that one assault.
So what commander mech do you reckon they're going to bring?
Well, but if it was me, or if what I think they're actually going to bring.
Oh, go for both then.
Alright, well, I reckon we're going to see Marauder 2Cs. Definitely be the primary pick. Maybe a Battlemaster 2C, but Marauder 2C pretty much every time. If they want to really go extreme range, Battlemaster 2C with that 5-year large build is pretty good. Personally, I'm like both those choices are good. I just like the Stalkers. They're pretty solid. What about you, Live? What would you bring?
Oh, in this season, probably the Marauder 2C. It does pretty much everything you want to bring. It's a good tank. It can put down a lot of damage. It can move pretty fast. It can bring ECM. Back in the old days, yeah, definitely Stalker. But yeah, Marauder 2C is the new Stalker now, unfortunately.
Well, it's faster. It's got a clan engine. It can mount multiple ballistics. It has ECM. That's Siebel available as well, which Stalker does not. You know, it's got jump jets on some variants even. You know, multiple ballistic, multiple energy, you know, missile combos as well if you really wanted to, I guess. But, you know, it's got a lot of very good things. So it's a extremely strong mech, and honestly for survivability, having the extra speed, you know, that engine cap of 400 in a Clan XL is just very, very helpful. So, you know, like on this map, you might even think about Marauder 2C variant, which has the right stack Gauss PPC with the jump jets as well to get a bit more mobility. Yeah, there's a few different things that teams could choose here. They really want to put jump jets on it.
Yeah. Team 2, do you reckon they're going to try to go Kappa, Sigma, Theta?
They could do. You know, there's a Kappa Sigma. That is, yeah, it makes sense. If you want to avoid Epps corner, I guess for sure. Like Epps corner is where a lot of quick play matches happen. But honestly, I don't really like pushing Epps from Team 2 side. Like I don't. It's kind of risky because if Team 1 has a lot of mechs here on this ridge, by the time you actually get around to Epps, it can end somewhat painfully. Usually,
a cap point you have to push later on in the mech if you're Team 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they're in maybe 4 mechs in Alpha Lance, it could be different, but...
Well, I see a lot of teams, and I mean, we don't mind this either, is setting up quite heavily in Charlie 3, Charlie 4 to some description, maybe having some sort of mechs around the data region, you know, being covered, and maybe a mech over here. If you really want to like range a lot, I guess you always have the trash pile as well from Team 2. Just gotta be careful they don't get stuck up there, caught out. And the other place for Team 1 mechs is at this hill here. It's got some nice places to trade from. Another thing to note is that Drop 3 has no lights. It's the only drop in MRBC with 0 light mechs. So
I love this drop.
Because you have to, let me guess, because you have to play a heavier in assault without getting harassed in the backside by a...
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, righto. Honestly, I miss having lights on the field. It's like, okay, well, how we get our scouting. But there's 3 mediums, and, you know, I know MRBC is class-based, but you don't have to use the 55-tonners. I mean, a lot of teams have been using things like Vipers, Ice Ferret, Shadowcat, Cicada. I mean, 1 or 2 of the above, not all of them, but 1 or 2 of the above, just to get a pseudo-light in there somewhere.
Yeah, I would love to see MRBC have more of a tonnage limit. It brings teams, they bring interesting mechs, and do they go a bit light to get a bigger heavy, or... It looks like both teams are ready. Are we good to go?
Yeah, well, of course we're ready. We're ready when they are. They punch it.
Just had to check the settings. Didn't want to do a JZ.
Yeah, no, I learned from the best, live. Learn from the best. Yeah, good old wrong game, mate, wrong time of day, mate. That's brilliant. All right, into the match we go. But yeah, no, just speaking about the MRBC, I think this season's had the lowest tonnage choices. Like Locust and Lights are actually good. 30 tonners, selected quite a lot. Mediums, we see a lot of pseudo lights as 40, 45 tonners get selected. In the heavies, I've seen Mad Dogs and Dragons. I mean, 60 tonners get brought occasionally. And in the assaults, I mean, 85 tonners, even in drop 5s, 4s and 5s get brought. So it's probably the lightest tonnage we've had in a long time. MRBC, despite being class based. I think last season was all about just the Kodiak.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to go for more map control.
Yeah.
So they're trying to spread out more, get more map, force teams into where they want them to go. It has an advantage. It also has a disadvantage. If the other team directly pushes, you might be a little bit hard.
Yep. Right, ISRC bringing a Gas Peep Nigeria, 5-year large Bellmaster 2C. Yep, so range game is getting played by them. PVC Nova, a Viper as a pseudo light, ER large Grasshopper, Gas Peep Timby, a Dakar Nigeria, and rounded out by the hybrid Peep Smalls Hunchy. GBKP, Brawler Orion.
Yeah, they definitely are brawler and mid range.
Yep, 4 RPL and 2C.
Battlemaster.
3 Ultra 10s on the Nigeria, very interesting there. Viper for the pseudo light and another Dakar Nigeria. So quite heavy DPS mid range brawl on GBKP, and they're going straight for the Eps corner at this point. Maybe not the corner, but they're going up high ground in Charlie 4, Charlie 5. Right, percentages. Vexed in the Nigeria down at 86 very quickly. That ranged pinpoint and trade coming out of ISRC really hammering those mechs down. Lermgod and the Bowmaster down at 81 already.
Yeah, it's a really bad push from Ghost Bears. They also did this in the World. They're pushing up top where the range team can just annihilate them as they push. If you're going to push, if it's a mid-range deck, you got to go in cover, especially on Canyon. There's so many layers to Canyon that there's no excuse not to be in cover when you do a push.
Yeah, particularly if you want to round it like this, and look, Kamikaze Viking over here on that far hill to the left of the screen now, getting some really nice trades, and he gets hit by the strike briefly, but look at the percentages down for Ghost Bear. Look, Lemgod and Vex in the Balance and Nightshade, two of the most damaging pilots. So usually they put out the big numbers, those two, and they're about to be taken off the field. So ISRC's got a very hefty advantage now. Till Havoc jumping right in there in the Orion, he's like, nah, screw this, let's go.
Yeah, and it's kind of a bad push. He's too far ahead from his team. He's just going to get annihilated.
Well, he's kind of hugging the wall a bit, but yeah, he goes down hard. 50-50 with the Flamers burninating Kami there with the Flamers, and I think he shot himself down. Is he just trying to do a beef special? Did he just try to Flamer shot down then headshot Kami? Alright, Lemgod goes down. That's 2 down for GBKP. Kami's about to eat it.
Yeah, I think it should be. ISRC need to finish off the hurt mechs ASAP.
Yep, Vex goes down. So the 2 most hurt mechs are down. ISRC haven't lost a mech yet. There's a lot of percentage down. Look, they're all in the yellows and reds except for Bream. So, there's damage being done by GBKP, just not the mechs getting taken off field. Juna now 60%. Shrimbo goes down, so it is 4-8 on mechs alive right now.
Yeah, this should be mopped up pretty quickly, and then they'll go stand on a few bases.
Coming there, Cherry Red CT. Look at this. ISRC mechs are so hurt in CT. Let's just spectate real quick. This guy's crit. Guy's not so bad.
Colin blew himself up.
Yep. Look, Cherry Red again, the CT. This guy's hurt crit CT. British. I mean,
Got a Grasshopper, sorry, a Timberwolf coming in from behind. I don't know where he was during the fight, but a lot of tonnage out of the fight.
Maybe pick up a kill. I don't think it'll be 85 tonner though, and that's going to be an issue. The 85 tonner. Oh, this died. No, this did die. In for ISRC, so no one gets a bonus. Both 85 tonners are dead.
I think Ghost Bears kind of played right into ISRC strat. They set up kind of like how we normally do, wait for the brawl push and then annihilate them when they came around Epsi. Ghost Bears did push up top, which was, they lost so much percentage on that push, and then they just stood there and looked at the mechs for a while and did a half-assed push with one of their mechs.
Yeah, I think just looking at it, like you said, if they wanted to push like that, coming around low here, we'd probably been better off. Let's look at the damages real quick. Damages, there's actually a fair bit done, like we said, from both sides. Top goes to Hans Davion in the Nightshade 570, followed by Kamikaze Viking, who didn't die in the end in the Grasshopper. Also big numbers by Nisk in the Nova. A lot of crit mechs there. This in the Ballista did die after doing 420, and on GBKP side, remove obstacles in IGF, 434, but not enough to really clean up those mechs off the field that they needed to. Rightio, let's have a look at the map strat real quick. I'm just going to wipe this and we'll have another look. Okay, save that. So the current rep is 825 to ISRC and 475 to Ghost Bear Kodiak Pride. Okay, bring up the map strat. I mean, relatively simple strat, honestly. Pushed around here and try to get an engagement. ISRC having the Grasshopper on this hill over here helped with some other range mechs strewn along this ridge. There was a small Thayer engagement we didn't really look at. It was pretty quick, just a simple cap and chase away. But the biggest thing here was that in this section here in orange, damage was taken by Ghost Bear Kodiak Pride that probably didn't need to be taken. In fact, the line they actually took, I didn't really draw it even right, honestly. They actually kind of came up here a bit. It's a bit risky.
Yeah, very risky. And they also stopped around here and just had a look at the range. They just needed to continue to push on multiple levels, send a light or one of the medium mechs up to kill this guy, get him away from the, or at least just get him out of the fight. If one Viper or one Nova versus the Grasshopper, it's a good trade, even if you hold him out for, a couple of minutes.
I think they did that. It's just that Grasshopper go by Cherry Red CT just didn't drop. It's that finishing, I think, is really what hurt them there. If they could just get those finishing shots off, like it was accurate. The fact that I saw crit mechs with the other components were relatively fresh. Their aim was reasonably good. It's just getting that damage out and getting that finishing shots in.
Yeah, definitely.
Positioning really hurt them.
Just bad positioning when they tried to do it, and that's something they will hopefully get with more games that they play. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, early on, so even though you don't have lights, you can still do scouting, like jump scouts. If you have a Viper or a Nova or even a Nightshade, honestly, you just jump. You don't even have to shoot like a Pop-Tart. You can just jump scout, and that can tell you stuff. Like if you get sea baggers looking at you, you probably don't want to walk in the open around that region. So. Anyway, let's get ready for the next drop. It is drop number 4. This is a really interesting one because I believe the first time in MRBC this season, or even in total, we're going to see a map called Terra Therma.
Yep.
Is that the first time that this map's been used in MRBC this season?
I believe so, yeah. This is the first week, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's week 4. It's week 4 rotation. Yeah. Hasn't been used since. So yeah, not sure what exactly we're going to see here. I can't say I've played any comp on this, and our division live, it doesn't really play. It doesn't have a 4th week rotation.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to play on this map. Do you reckon it's going to be Dakar, Brawl, Gorse?
I reckon the duplicate. Well, it's 2 of each weight class. So 2 each weight class is like becoming the standard sort of comp drop on Conquest. 2 Nightshades, I reckon. I reckon if you're going to duplicate a mech, yeah, you may as well just do Nightshades. They don't get. So for those that don't know, Nightshades do not get affected by environmental heat. That is one of their main quirks. Is that in lore they had laser heat sinks, which means they aren't affected by environmental heat. So Terra Therma being an incredibly hot map will probably benefit from. If you're running assaults, honestly, I would say bring 1 Kodiak 3 and 1 Marauder 2C, like Gas Peep or Dakar. maybe gas beep on the Marauder and Dakar on the Kodiak, and then mediums. I mean, mediums and lights is to taste. Depends if you want to brawl it, do you want to strike it, do you want to cap game it? Because cap game is pretty strong. There's a lot of it takes a while to get around the map. So I think cap game is going to be strong, but the heavy assault pack is going to be pretty much Nightgear, Kodiak, and Marauder 2C in my view. Maybe a Mauler instead of a Marauder 2C. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll probably go Kodiak, Marauder 2C, Nightgears. Reckon they're going to bring a Locust or just a Jenna 2C and
Cheetah. Honestly, I would be more likely to see a Spider 5K over a Locust, personally. But that, again, like I said, lights, mediums to taste, because honestly, with those sort of lights particularly, given that unlike drop 1, we have to bring 4 lights, and so you might want a Locust in there or other things. The Locust, yeah, it's only if the pilot really feels comfortable in it. But the mediums, I was thinking about it, mediums like the Hunchback 2C with 3 Ultra 5s or 4 Ultra 2s, the latter probably been better. Or even dual Gauss, dual OBX20. I mean, you can do a lot of really cool Hunchback 2C builds. Or the Enforcer 5P or 4P, they can do some ballistic builds. Dual Ultra 5s as well. Just thinking about some Dakar.
I could be wrong, but I believe in America they ran a Trebuchet. Or one of the games I watched.
The 5J?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but
it's been run quite a few times in comp.
Work watching it on the phone.
But on Terra Therma?
Yeah, Terra. Yeah.
Huh. Well, the 5J
have a lot of cooldown
yeah.
quirk.
Yeah, definitely. It's also got a lot of good stuff. For standard laser duration and range. It's actually got a very unique quirk, which is 20% standard laser duration. And not many other mechs have that. So, and sorry, no, standard laser range. That's right. So most mechs have range quirks are 10% generic all energy weapon range. But this one's got 20% standard laser range. So, pretty cool. Yeah, that trebuchet's been used in a few different comps as well. It's been used in the NA circuit last season. I saw it a few times on like some Crimson as well, get to buildings and shoot stuff. Alright, so I'll just duck down for a sec. So let's just have a look here. Okay, I guess you have home caps in a way. Cap is pretty easy to take. From this side, game is pretty easy to take. From the other side, you got Sigma, you got Eps. Alright, so I'm going to draw in white here. I'm going to draw
the biggest NASCAR in MRBC history, just going around and around and around.
Yeah, I'm just going to circle in white some of the major structures, just the outlines of them, because basically these structures, I mean, that structure goes out here, to be honest. Anyway, you get the idea, is that there's these major structures pretty much funnel what the teams can and can't do. So, Theta has 3 ways to it, in and out. And the bottom one is kind of also semi-split a little bit. There's a little thing there, and yeah, you get the idea. There's this little thing here.
Still waiting on both teams to get ready.
Yep.
Going on the last few games, who do you reckon's going to win this match, and will it be close?
Look, there's a couple of pilots there in GBKP who seem very comfortable in the Nightgears. So there's some in the heavies and assaults, and I think what I saw from last time I cast them, their heavies and assault play is pretty strong. So that'd be interesting. Although ISRC, I think they do have a lot of players on their roster and a lot of experience there from all over the place, from a lot of units and time zones and comp scenes. So honestly, I'm going to slightly tip ISRC for this one.
Yeah, ISRC's roster is probably bigger than the AP population.
Maybe so. So I'm just going to preemptively guess that Team 2 is going to make maybe this sort of move onto Theta for Lion, and Team 1, if they can't rush in from Echo 7, they're either going to do an out of rotation for Kappa, or maybe one of the other exits. But from Team 1, I mean, just judging, this is again me judging from quick play. I have not played comp on this map, unlike the other maps we've done so far. It's a bit of a new experience for me, talking about comp play on Terra Therma. in faction at least, an outer wrap from Team 1 side onto Cap is usually pretty strong. So you can easily cap around the outside. And then if you take Kappa, you can then attack Theta from the same direction Team 2 engaged it from. Or send lights and just cap around the outside. Because honestly, once you're in Theta,
I'm going to cut you off, unfortunately, and launch the game.
Yeah, no worries. Just launch it, man. Just launch it. We got loading time.
Take down the the thingy.
Overlay. Oh, what if you want a radio cast, man? Come on. Hey, we still talk about the great radio casts of 2016. Righto. Into the match we go. Into Terra Therma. Very hot map. Also has lava. Which is slowly will damage your legs and increase your mech heat very quickly. So, bit of environmental challenge there too. I jumped into mech, didn't I? That was silly. I shouldn't have done that. This is a weird view when you get accidentally select the wrong thing. Just waiting a few mechs to load in. Alright, so ISRC are bringing 2 Kodiak 3s, a Summoner, I believe that's going to be Brawl, a Night Gear, of course, Shadowcat, Arctic Cheetah, Journey 2C, and Hunchback 2C. That is the ballistic one. Let's just check the mech builds out. They're starting to mix up now.
Ooh,
my
Ghost
spectator
Bear
thing's
have
not weird.
an Atlas, a Kodiak 3, 2 Night, a Hunchback ballistic, I believe, a Griffin.
And there's a lot of DACA here. The Summoner is actually dual Ultra 10s, by the way, and the Shadowcat is Streak Lasers. The rest are pretty much DACA, heavy DACA. Atlas, yes, as we see, DACA Night Gears, and a lot of small poles, Brawl, DACA. Pretty much DACA Brawl on both sides, all around.
Yep, looks like Ghost Bears are going to go for Gamma and Kappa, and then I'm guessing maybe regroup around Theta. And ISRC get 2 mechs on Sigma. They're looking to bring three mechs around the outside to try to control the outside cap.
That's what it looks like, and that's that rotation there, that outside rotation from Team 1. That, I mean, if you do it really quickly with the Shadowcat and 2 lights, that you can very quickly take that cap. And what's that light there? That's a single cheetah. It's not going to have any chance of defending against that, so he's just going to run. He just probably doesn't even see the 3 behind him, honestly. ISRC main force staging Epsilon. No one's taking Theta at all. It seems to be a bit of a no man's land, and ISRC is going to get a 3-1 cap advantage. Trimboy in the mislinks here. Very interesting pick for a light. It's got a lot of quirks on it, but 2 machine guns, 3 small pulses. Not the heaviest of armaments you can bring.
Looks like they're going to move in and get Theta, bring up 2 caps.
Yeah, well, if you're down 3-1, I mean, next most logical step is to get up to 2. So, Hans David getting some shots in there in the night here, getting Dacked on by the rest of GBKP there, who are moving in the center. Looks like there might be a pincer happening with the 3 lights from ISRC coming around the back of the main force. GBKP.
They've got to be careful because they are a long way away. I don't think Ghost Bear has the speed to take him off, go after him anyway.
No. I mean, I think this is going to be a proper pincer where GBKP are either just going to hold here, maybe try to deal with him.
Sending 2 lights back to deal with the 3 from ISRC.
Well, that's Shadowcat has streaks, so this is very dangerous for GBKP's lights.
Back it away pretty fast.
A UAV went up, quick smart. How hurt is that cheetah? Ooh, red armor all rounds. That Shadowcat's can do some very quick work.
They're still fighting. You think they'd be running away like crazy?
Yeah, no, that's a clear disengage.
Can their main force push, or a huge tunnel?
Well, see, this pass here is a big choke point. This choke point here makes it very difficult for either team to push through, so it's a bit of a standoff. And in a standoff, ISRC is going to gain advantage. They've got 3 caps, they have better light control of the map. In fact, they're going to go Gamma. Look at this.
Yeah, they're going to go.
They're going to 4 cap him. They're just going to go screw the center. Let's go around the outside.
ISRC are moving in or moving left with their main force.
Yeah, a bit of a wrap going on, and that's the other thing, talk about is this this movement here, which I'm showing at the camera. If they come around this side with this bridge here and so on, it's a bit more open lane into attacking Theta. But ISRC doesn't really need to move. Honestly, they don't need to attack. Oh wow, GBKP is going to make the move anyway for him, so ISRC can just retain the concave. And here comes the Atlas. Atlas has unbound his S key. He's got no brakes. He's doing a proper Atlas push. Although, is it the right mech for the right job at the right time? Oh, the Dakar into him.
He needs to be twisting a lot more.
Oh, he's twisting off. I mean, he's a stick. He got down to a stick in the Atlas, but can his team kill something to make up for it? Like Arjuna's Kodiak 3, 57%. Is that going to be enough of an advantage to lose your own 100 tonner for?
I thought Ghost Bears have pulled away 2 of their mechs to cap 2 points, but I don't think it's. Yeah, they're going to get.
The main fight was Vex and Partak are down into the 50s. Sean Korenskov is down 69%. You know, a lot of hurt mechs, a lot more hurt mechs on GBKP's side. I think ICC is going to take this. They did look pretty strong already, but this push here, Vex is going to get in. Look at this Dakar flying across the field, man.
Dakar. Definitely a good strategy from ISRC.
Yeah, very interesting to see. Hans Davon in the night here may be going down. Ajuna does go down now finally for ISRC.
Yeah, ISRC is taking a long time to drop mechs.
Yeah, and that's a common theme throughout the whole night, it seems. Very long time to kills.
And here come ISRC mediums and lights coming from behind. And it's just going to wrap it up right now, I reckon.
Yeah, this takes a long go. Hans Davon takes a Sean Korenskov. If Hans Davon survives that 39%, Partak comes down. It's just the 2 lights left. We're rushing in now for the final thing. This little cheater has just realised, mate, I think I've made a mistake. Can GBKP have 3 caps? You know, unfortunately, ISRC do have 7 mechs on the field, so it's running and capping is not quite going to work out for them. If they dropped maybe 4 or 5 mechs, yeah, kind of. I can see it working, but it's 7-2 on mechs on the field right now. Oh, the streak's coming in. That's a leg. I believe that's a leg coming off that cheater.
Yeah, he's gone.
And that's a life. That is a life coming off him too.
He's just going back to die. End the game quickly.
Yep.
So I kind of like the map for comp. It gets a lot of strategies you can do, and it'll probably get a lot better once we play it more.
It kind of reminds me in some way of Caustic, where instead of Caustic having a uniform rim, this has like very open, like more vertical jaggedness, I guess, of the data surroundings. So you got to be very mindful of the caps because they're spread out very evenly. But yeah, let's have a quick look here on the scores. Ooh, the Kodiak 3s for ISRC, 660, 551. I mean, even the heavies, Nightshare and Summoner. Summoner with 2 Ultra 10s there doing alright for Kami there. So 521, 427 for them. And Leonidas in the Hunchback, Ultra 2s, 460. For GBKP, Lamgod and Sean Korenskov in getting over 400 there with their Nightshare and Kodiak. But yeah, the Atlas getting shut down pretty hard there. The Mislinks and Griffin also getting shut down hard. So probably didn't get too much value out of that one in the end. And that little streak, Shadowcat 365 being for Firehawk being very annoying and really tipping the light fight in favour of ISRC there. That's just that extra mech there that it didn't need in the main fight, I guess. That really flicked the light fight over.
Yeah, they ISRC had a really good ridge like corner to hold, and there was no way that even if they were 1 mech down, they still should be able to annihilate a brawl push through that big open area.
Righto, so let's just have a quick look at the rep to date. It is 3-1 in favour of ISRC. Rep points at 1,175 to 500. The next drop is on HPG Manifold. 2 lights, 2 heavies, 4 assaults. So yeah, while they're getting ready for that, let's have a look at this map strat from drop 4. Right, so that's what I had written there before. The blue movement actually stays there. It's just because that's just a light movement. Oh, that's fine. Dang it. Nice one. Alright, that's fine. Clean slate's good. Alright, so blue movement here is the 2 lights in the Shadowcat, that kind of augmented light pack coming around here. And GBKP, the main movement was pretty much get to Theta with a little bit, this cap as well. So they had 2 caps, kind of. This light fight here in that occurred in the borderline of Gold 5, Gold 6 was one of the main turning points of the match. It was basically when GBKP have realised, you know what, we can't cap this. ISRC have 1, 2, 3. They've won the light fight in that key light fight, and now bam, 4-1. The outer ring is all ISRC control, and like I showed earlier with this terrain here, this mountain is absolutely massive. Okay, each grid square is about 500 meters across, so this is about almost a kilometer long terrain feature that just blocks you off from getting anywhere near Kappa. Just absolutely huge terrain features here. So pretty much GBKP just thought, you know what, their assaults over here on around Episode on the other side. Just go, just kill stuff.
I think the only thing JB could have done, Ghost Bears could have done better, is when they got Kappa capped and the light said, "Hey, they're in Goal 5." They probably should have gone for them, not go straight through the funnel into the huge this way. Sorry, not straight into that funnel.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, I think maybe that was the option to do, is that you hold your own heavies assaults here, you push all your mediums and your lights, so 4 mechs instead. So they have 3, well you bring 4. It might be a bit slower because your mediums aren't as fast or designed for that, that's fine. But you bring back Kappa, you come around, you bring back Sigma, right? You bring back Kappa, you bring back Sigma, and then you can just come back in and help your team up with that 3 cap regained. Maybe that was an option. I mean, I think the Mech Lab, the drop deck and plan really synced up for ISRC. They thought it through. They knew what they wanted to achieve, that Shadowcat, and they did it. The mislinks as well, I think, for GBKP was a bit of an interesting choice. I think it's good to build your mechs to the temperature of the map, like being a DACA and stuff is helpful. But as a point at which maybe energy mechs aren't so bad, like an Arctic Cheetah and a more traditional light would have been just fine. You don't need to lean on that machine gun quirked mislinks to bring a mech that runs cooler just for the sake of running cooler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people get outcapped and then they pressure and make the wrong decision. That's definitely one thing. Like we've been working on is try to react to the easiest way for us to gain the cap advantage back. So if they went around, it would have been really good. What the worst they would have done is they got a couple of caps. They may not have killed him, but the main force may have gone into Cedar to equalize a cap or to get an extra cap. Bring it back to a 2-2 game. Cap is a really good way to, especially with the brawling team, just to force the range team to make a movement.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's have a look at HPG here. So 2 lights, 2 heavies, 4 assaults. What are your first thoughts when you think of a drop 5 on HPG?
You can either pretty much go 2 ways: is a mid-range to range team or a full brawl team. No, very slow deck. So you can cap your 2 points and cap Cedar. Maybe have something up on the walls, just to Overwatch and also intel. But if you go into Cedar, the other team, if they can surround you up top and just start shooting down as you come out, or maybe even get the cap advantage. So yeah, it'd be definitely interesting to see what they do.
My first thought is, where do you fit 4 assaults on each side in the center walls? I mean, and climbing top of the walls. I mean, is okay. The heavies, yeah, I can see putting heavies. Putting assaults on the walls is a bit strange because the maneuverability up there, and the terrain on the walls is not flat, uniform, or kind to large mechs. Like, it is great for mediums to jump and hide around and duck over and step over in that, and maybe some heavies, kind of. Borderline, though. Heavies have a tough time. So pretty much, you're just going to have 4 assaults on the ground on each side. So, like, it's, kind of crowded in one sense. Like you said, though, I agree, like, mid-range or brawl is the main stuff to see. I mean, there are a couple of interesting players which I will raise attention to, just in case I do try it. In Echo 3, you do have a sight line that goes all the way, to the top center platform, which is really cool. But like that's kind of a bit of a cheese. There's also, if you climb up here, an assault can very easily get up here. This is also a bit of a cheese. They can see across as well. So both sides can do something like that with a very high up assault. But don't think these we're going to see that.
I think if one team goes range, one goes brawl, the team that goes range need to have the plan for when they just push in and get Cedar. That's gonna, because then they'll have to drop down and or have to push into them. So they're either gonna have to back cap Kappa or Sigma somehow, or they're gonna have to get a lot of trade early in to at least damage them up so they can jump down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like from Team 2, there's a few key edges that you kind of want to control. No, I say edges because there's a bit of 3D, three-dimensional, aspects to HPG. Is like if you can control, like multiple angles, like on Team 2's side, I find that's usually pretty helpful if you can control that because you can get damage out and also scout a bit. Team 1 side's got.
We're launching, by the way.
Yeah, it's fine. I got multiple monitors, so it's all good.
Ghost Bears have gone 2 in Alpha, 2 in Bravo, and 4 in Charlie. ISRC have gone 4 in Alpha, 3 in Bravo, 1 in Charlie.
Righto. So, I mean, HPG does not have symmetric spawns as well, so just note that, like Bravo and Charlie are technically swapped for each other. But yeah, so that does indicate brawl-ish, probably from GBKP. Let's just have a look what mechs are actually running. So, I'll fly on the map a bit here. So, as you can see, this map's got a lot of three-dimensional aspects to it. I mean, you've got, like, obviously the central square right up on top. You've got a bridge going to it. You've got 4 ramps. You've got the second layer. And then you've got the ground around it, too. Like, it's a really interesting structure to fight on and to manage as well. Like, and having assaults lumbering around it, it's just a very interesting thing. Also, got the underneath as well, which is data. You don't want to probably put all your mechs down there because map control's a thing. But let's have a look at the mechs. So, this Battlemaster 2C 5 large pulse. So this is ISRC side. Large pulse Meads on the Grasshopper, Splat Jenner, Small pulse Cheetah, Dakar Kodiak, Highlander 7-2B. There can be only one LPL Gauss. Kodiak 3 for duplicate. Dual Gauss, dual PPC, Night GF4, Kamikaze Viking.
And on Ghost Bears, they've got. Oh, wait, you finished?
No, you go for it. Go for Ghost Bear.
Yeah, dual Kodiak 3, an Atlas, a Spider, an Orion, a Grasshopper, and a Marauder 2C. I already said that. Fuck.
The Orion's an interesting choice. Low mounts on this map are pretty interesting. Also, the Gas PPC Kodiak. I mean, a lot of teams have been going away from that just because of how fragile they are. The side sources on them just pop. Slight cap advantage going to GBKP by a single point, so it's Data No Man's Land with 2 points each side. ISRC taking the ramp as expected with that range they have.
They've got the Ghost Bear, they've got an Atlas pushing under, also with an Orion. And the trade war has started. Nice
strike there. That was a beautiful strike. You see that?
No, I didn't, but the Ghost Bears now have a Grasshopper up top. He looked like he's a bit confused and doesn't know where to go. Here he comes now into the battle. Where Cam is up on top in a night cheer.
88% on him, so he's actually somewhat hurt already. And that's that position that we talked about earlier with, you can kind of get a big mech up there very easily. But it's a bit of a cheese spot.
ISRC have 2 lights. They were looking at walls. I'm not too sure what they're doing, but they're coming through that near FC gate. I'm wondering if they're going to try to run around and get an extra cap point.
Well, I think at this point ISRC's realised that they need to do something because they're down on caps, and so they're just going to take the top centre, get a nice map control, and try to force Ghost Bears to fight on a lower ground to them. Remove obstacles, staying up there with the more 2CA.
The lights are now just about to run out and get the cap point of Kappa. And one of Ghost Bear's lights have reacted to that.
Yeah, 2v1 lights is pretty risky, particularly against a splat mech. I mean, the splat mech can be very, game-changing if it gets a good missile spread on it. But big engagement here at the moment in the center. Remove obstacles, somewhat hurt down there. So is the Mad Cat in the Atlas. The Atlas again, I'm not sure how much value they're going to get out of this choice. I also see getting some really good focus fire down. Sean Krantz got very, very hurt in the Kodiak. A lot of mechs on Ghost Bear side in the 70s.
So Ghost Bears have not worried about the caps, and they're now going in for the fight.
Yep.
So they have to, they can't drop down. They got to go.
No. Well, Mac has just dropped down in the Atlas, so they're down at 100 ton mech straight up. If he stayed up there, he could have just pushed on Hans Davion's Highland. Oh, remember Voskos drops down too, so both assaults, so 2 assaults have dropped down. Bream's going to come in for a killing blow, it looks like, on the...
They're all dropping down.
All dropping down. ISRC is probably going to take this because their map control is very much in their favour. Ghost Bears are Marauder down there, Cherry Red in the back. They all pushing underneath. It's definitely made the call there to do it. Bream gets sat down in the Jenna, so look at the teammates there. Hans David getting hit by Spider and Grasshopper right now, so he might lose his important bits. Nope, yeah. He's okay at the moment.
ISRC probably want to push in there and get the bonus rep point, so that could be interesting. Ghost Bears are pretty hurt, but
they are extremely hurt.
And Hans Davian just got absolutely raped by 2 mechs on the side.
Yeah, that's that Spider and Grasshopper on him. He's lost his Gauss already, and he's a standard engine, so that left's also been crit. It's not going to worry him too much. Oh, Shrimboy's Spider goes down. Okay, cap game here.
Will ISRC push in, or will they wait?
No, they need to look at the cap game, man. The ISRC has 4-1 on caps, so Lem got very hurt, 45%. He's just going to try to get away if he can. Just look at the percentages though on Ghost Bear's side. Just absolutely devastated at the moment. Just a single machine gun remains for Lemgod there. So not so much he can do. And ISRC is going to wrap down, at least get some lines underneath. But they don't need him to push at all. Ghost Bear is trying to get Gamma. Yeah. 50
rep points, a lot of rep.
It is a lot of rep, but it's also relatively early in the game. I mean, they don't need to push this early. Look at the many points still on there. And Ghost Bear may push out on their own accord. Here they come. River Voskos 14%, 13% still alive. He goes down now. Till Havoc, very hurt. And look at this, 37% for the Atlas Mad Cat 1. And the percentages here, I always expect ISRC to have massive damage values. I reckon they're going to be half the team is going to have 500 damage. No joke.
And just 1 light left.
And that is it. ISRC is going to flip Theta, flip Theta, while the last light Pretz 88 goes for Epsilon. So ISRC will get the bonus and the match win, I assume, with this many mechs on the field. And yeah, well done to ISRC for keeping it together and playing well. Now, at this point, would you even try capping in the cheat, or just go for a kill? Like you got 29% Ireland, you got 63% absolutely crit Kodiak, 58% Kodiak as well. Like, I mean, the fresh cheetah. The one mech you don't want to see is the fresh cheetah, and unfortunately, that's the last mech.
The Grasshopper on Overwatch.
Yep, there's a leg. You need them. And that is the game. So, very well played, ISRC. Good series.
Look at the damage numbers.
Alright. Big scores. There's some big scores in there. 796 out of Hans David in the Highlander. Great to see a Highlander in the game. 639 out of the Grasshopper. So those are the 2 big hitters there on ISRC's side. Looking at GBKP, the Kodiak, Lemgod 415. There's some decent numbers there in the 300s as well from Vex Grasshopper. Again, Vex doing very well. Roof Obstacles 341. Those 3 there have been consistently doing well tonight. So. Good on them, but I mean, look, every mech they hit well over 100. There's damage being done by everyone there. There's plenty of assaults in the field for that.
Yeah, I think if they want to continue brawling, they need to work on either pushing straight away or baiting the range team into them. I think they just most of the brawl pushes they pushed into ISRC and that lost them the game over a long range.
All right. So looking at the, let's make sure we get this right. Get the winner and bonus. Yep. Save. Right. Okay, so ISRC 1,525 rep and Ghost Bear 525. So 1,000, exactly bang on 1,000 rep point difference there. So extremely well done, ISRC. Well played, and yeah, thanks Ghost Bear for the match. Yeah, some really good stuff there. Like, there's definitely some skilled players there, and you know, they were definitely moving and playing as a team. It's just a lot of that overarching map control and some of the light play there. And you know, I guess it just comes to cap management. I think on Conquest, those cap management there by ISRC tonight was definitely something they've worked on. I think that was one of the big focuses going into the match. What do you reckon?
Yeah, if they want to play the range, they need to have the cap advantage. Definitely worked out for them. A lot better strategies used by ISRC this week from last season, I mean, or the season before. Look like they're putting a lot more thought into it, which is good.
Oh, absolutely. So I think this means looking at the current standings. Right, so this should definitely help ISRC. So ISRC, TR9 and Clan Crossfire looks like the three teams to beat at the moment. There's also another concurrent match happening at the moment, and I'm not sure what the results of that one will be. I think that's going to be DSA and who are they playing against tonight? I think they're playing someone else. Clan Crossfire. They're playing Clan Crossfire tonight. So, you know, after these results are in from Division B, there might be a bit of a shake-up on the leaderboards, and there's still one more week for Division B before they go into before they get the halfway mark. Is that right? Week 5 is halfway for Division B.
Yeah, I believe so.
6 teams means 5 matches, so 10 weeks. So yeah, 5 matches for the first round. So yeah, Division B wrapping up the week 4 tonight. So next week will be the halfway mark for these guys, and be a pretty good tell of where the division is heading. So that's about it for me. Is there anything else live? Or there's not going to be any interviews or anything like that?
No, they're a bit busy. We'll call it a night.
Righto. Well, so thanks for watching MRBC Shoutcast. Remember, you have the website you can check out. We're on Discord as well, so there's a really good community there on Discord. You can ask questions about MRBC. If you're a team, looking for scrims even as well, so jump in on that. And yeah, this is season 9, so like it's been around for a while, and the AP scene's been around since season 5, and Live and myself have both been involved since then. So we keep coming back. So it's got to be good, right? It's good fun for me. I really do enjoy it. So thanks for watching, you lot. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.